A poached egg is the breakfast of champions, so who could possibly resist a lookalike plant that is the flower of champions, the poached egg plant? This stunning flower doesn't just bring a cheerful ray of sunshine to the garden, it's a magnet for beneficial bugs like pollinators, is fantastic for building soil health, and it's super easy to grow, making it a must grow for the vegetable garden. Poached eggplant is absolutely glorious, but behind that sunny side up charm is a plant with some seriously garden friendly credentials. It's irresistible to beneficial bugs. Bees, hoverflies and other pollinators flock to it like, well, gardeners to a half-price plant sale. And that yellow yolk in the middle, it's kind of like a neon sign flashing good food served here. Attracting more pollinators into the garden will boost overall productivity from fruiting and podding plants like tomatoes and peas, while having more pest-hungry insects like hoverflies means there will be fewer pests around. It's as simple as that. Now here are some poached eggplant seedlings that have sown themselves from last year's flowers, which is rather handy because it saves me a job. I love their finely divided, vibrant green leaves, which look just fantastic set against the dark soil, don't you think? Now these will grow on to form low, bushy plants, which are perfect for filling in here and there among the vegetables. Now is the perfect time to sow some more, and it couldn't be easier. To start with, I'm just gonna rake off, level the soil here and just pull to the side any kind of stones or lumps like that, just to get a nice kind of even texture for our seeds to go into. Poached eggplants really are so simple to grow, and it even says it on the packet here. And to sow, I'm just gonna take a pinch of seeds. They're reasonable size, so they're quite easy to see, and then just scatter them like this over the surface with my prepared soil. And then they don't really need covering over, but what I will do is sort of rake them in like this. And then once I've done that, just tamp it all down to get soil in contact with the seeds. And now a drink of water to set our seeds on their way. Now, if you prefer, you can sow into rows or drills and then cover them over, but I think this sort of scattered sowing is a much more natural way of doing things. Once the seedlings pop up, I will just either remove or carefully transplant some of the seedlings to leave them at least 4 inches or 10 centimetres apart in all directions, and that'll give them enough space they need to really thrive. By the way, you'll find poached eggplant along with a whole host of other vegetable garden friendly flowers such as calendula and marigold in our garden planner. Just select the plant and drop it onto your plan, and the software will calculate exactly how many plants you can fit into the area you have. Also rather handy is the little information button at the side of each plant, which opens up to reveal all the information you need to grow that plant successfully. An alternative is just to sow into plug trays like these. Now the advantage of sowing into plugs is that the seedlings won't need thinning out, and you'll have little plants waiting in the wings to pop out and plant whenever a space appears or there are gaps ready to get a little bit of extra cheer. And then to sow, I'm just going to drop in 2 little seeds or thereabouts into each plug and then lightly cover them over. Now these little plugs of seedlings will be planted out along my main path in the vegetable garden, where they will spill out onto the path and help to soften the hard edges of the beds. They look just absolutely stunning there. Sowings made in early spring will give flowers from about early summer, but for the longest possible display of blooms, I'd suggest making a few more sowings up until about early summer to give the longest possible window of those stunning blooms. But let me share another really rather ingenious sowing window. Late summer is a great time to sow poached eggplants for an entirely different reason. You see, poached eggplants make a fantastic living mulch, a green manure or cover crop that's quick growing and will help to suppress weeds, keep the ground protected and soil life happy, especially in the autumn and winter when beds might otherwise be bare. Use them to blanket otherwise empty beds or grow them between overwintering staples like Brussels sprouts or kale. If your winters are relatively mild, then those awesome seedlings can be left to overwinter to flower extra early, extending that flowering period and giving an early boost for early pollinators. In fact, the seedlings like these here are surprisingly hardy. And if you have harsh winters, no problem at all. Just let the plants die back naturally and then rot down into the soil, or you could dig them in maybe 1 or 2 weeks before planting in spring. And just like a traditional cover crop or green manure, that injection of organic matter into the soil will help to both add fertility and improve soil structure, improving conditions for future crops. One of the great things about poached egg plants is how easy they are to manage. They prefer a position in full sun and in well-drained soil, but they'll also cope with a little light shade too, which makes them perfect for growing in between taller summer crops like, say, broccoli or tomatoes, or even narrow-leaved vegetables like, say, onions or garlic. And if you're worried about the seedlings being a bit of a nuisance popping up here and there, please don't be. They won't muscle out neighbouring crops and are easy just to pull out or hoe off wherever they are not wanted, or carefully dug up and then planted where they are. Or if you prefer plants not to self-seed in the first place, just pull up the plants once flowering starts to fade off so they don't have a chance to set seed. Easy. Companion flowers don't get much easier or more cheerful than the poached egg plant. And honestly, it's a flower that looks like a poached egg. Whether you're 8 or 80, that's guaranteed to raise a smile. Let me know in the comments what other flowers you grow in your vegetable garden, or for more on growing edible flowers, why not download the completely free abridged version of my book, and you can get that simply by signing up to our video newsletter over here. I'll catch you next time.